Hello, Vice President. My name is Kenneth Anderson. I am an associate with the Target store. Thank you for your time. Today I would like to talk to you and highlight corporate social responsibility, CSR, and how it relates to Target and how it will continue to allow our company to do great things in the world. So CSR, or corporate social responsibility, is the business behavior that is voluntarily directed towards solving problems beyond the place of a business. CSR doesn't just focus on key interests of our shareholders or investors. Today, it focuses on stakeholders from employees, customers, local communities, and those advocates that fight for our natural resources such as water, air, and pollution. After the successes of the Millennial Development Goals back in 2015, which were largely achieved or highlighted by China, it actually got a lot of people's attention, a lot of governments who at one point only limited or thought that governments were solely responsible for helping fight things like inequality, poverty, and things that affected society as whole. They learned that the private sector was very much needed and could be very useful in helping society fight against these issues. So with that, the UN decided to create the Sustainability Development Goals. We're going to call those or refer to those as SDGs. This plan was actually used to replace the MDG. Again, that stood for Millennial Developmental Goals. And it pretty much included, going forward, private sector or the private corporations, and included them in a fight against social issues that affect a vast array of our stakeholders. CSR is not new to companies. It's actually been around for some time, and it included corporations, governments, people, activists, and employees within a platform to engage issues that may affect each other in different ways. However, it normally was approached with a top-down type of attitude, normally from the heads of governments down to lower-level employees. Third world organizations or poor countries, who often are tied up within the supply chain for large corporations who are mostly headquartered right here in the United States, were not included in the initial calls against social issues or inequalities. But with the SDGs, they actually included corporate companies, third world governments, the employees that worked in these sometimes hazardous areas. These were the people who were actually were in the minds of the people at the UN when they decided to come up with the SDGs. The SDGs now function as a guide that United Nations member states will use to frame their policies from 2016 up until the year of 2030. So what does this mean for Target, and why is Target initiating a CSR or continuing to initiate its CSR program? Well, Target operates over 1,800 stores worldwide. With that, we also source a lot of our supplies from over 48 countries throughout the world. Target's success is based oftentimes on its ability to create a global connection that enables it to create a large and versatile supply chain. To manage all of these locations effectively, technology plays a huge part. As Target has realized, the abilities and capabilities of technology has enabled Target to make these very important connections on a global scale that enable us to have our supplies built and received to its consumers throughout the world in a timely fashion. Technology, although it has created a lot of positives for not only Target but the rest of the world, such as just communication, the spread of knowledge and information, it also brings together world issues that may have not been highlighted years ago, or actually brought to the forefront of a lot of countries who could potentially do something about it. So technology today could actually be used going forward, and can be implemented and useful to Target in order to become more knowledgeable about not only things that affect Target, but also our vast array of stakeholders that come in contact with certain issues throughout their everyday lives. Target, by using its platform, its worldwide connections, we can communicate with foreign governments. We can initiate conversations between foreign governments, and also the people and the cultures that may have once never considered coming to a table to solve a complex or difficult issue. With this ability, this will enable Target to receive, to stand on its already positive image, and it will take the interaction that is normally positive at the cash register, and it'll take that interaction beyond the cash register and hit a place where everyone can feel as though they're being included and are not just a profit value or represented by some type of monetary statistic. CSR will bring governments to conversations that don't only involve profit. It will also help Target stores reduce its pollution print on areas it serves and the areas it calls home. At this time, Target is in a position to become a leading pioneer in CSR. Some of the leading issues that our stakeholders face and at Target should definitely become aware of, if it not has already, through things like social media and news outlets, are water pollution, so with using CSR and abiding by or aligning our CSR initiative with those of the SDG, we'll start off with the goal when it comes to water. The goal is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So a way Target can become involved with this is, Target can support companies such as Nestle, who has shown initiative to provide clean water and available water to impoverished areas or areas who have suffered damages and have health hazards because of water pollution. A prime example would be Flint, Michigan. Just recently, or within the last couple of years, Flint, Michigan, who has a large population of over 90,000 people, was affected by a polluted water system that has affected many in that surrounding area. Now, this is also a location of Target. So this would be something that Target can definitely take a hold of, become aware of, if not already, and use its position in the world to do something that can make and change the environment down there in Flint, Michigan. Now, going off of the incident in Flint, And staying on the topic of water pollution, Target also, as you know, has a local headquarters in India. India, over the last few years, have been known and reported large or an increase in water pollution. This is something that Target, again, can grab a hold of and uses resources to create awareness and even do some incitative or brainstorming with even local people in the community, and also reach out to its resources and even vendors within the and suppliers within its own supply chain, such as Nestle, to provide